Tuesday evening. Good evening to you on the 13th. I'm Ralph from Ben Hill, your smooth operator right here on News Radio 640 WGST. I want you to call in 233 WGST 1-800-FON-WGST and talk how you like. You know, we're going to throw the lines wide open and talk how you like. Talk about these hostages and things. They still crying and celebrating. The sucker eating tuna fish and apple juice, you know, laying up in a hospital, undergoing medical tests after his confinement. Yeah, me and my people were confined for 500 years. We didn't get no tuna fish and apple juice and air conditioning, hospitals and things. The hostages, I'll tell you, they make me sick. Nothing but some spies. And I tell you, boy, sad story coming out of Europe.
No need to ask, he's a smooth operator.
Albania. Did you see it? Poor white trash over there in Albania. Nobody wants them. Italy, the world's 5th largest industrial power, is offering these Albanians, these poor white crackers, $40 a piece to get out of town. They call them hardcore, most dangerous, uneducated, too poor to have trailers. They're half naked. And the bottom line is that they're white folks and their own kind don't even want them. You know, because every time you turn around, it's Haiti this, Puerto Rico that, poor black folks, boat people, detainees. You know, it's so refreshing to see some of our white folks imitating everything we do, you know, everything. Them old post suckers in Albania. Boy, oh boy, boy. Them some of Neil's folks, you know. And did you see the story about Castro? That's the MC Hammer of the Caribbean. You can't touch this. Conspiracies all his life. They've embargoed the sucker 30 years straight. Tried to assassinate him 25 years. Told all kinds of lies on Fidel. I tell you, boy, he's a tough dude. You know, he's a tough dude. Stock market crashing. What do these white folks do? They jump out of buildings, you know. They catch the old ladies with another man. What do? They put a 12 gauge under their throat and blow their brains out, you know. Castro ate rats, lived in the woods, had a revolution, and he's strong. I tell you, it'll take probably 8 of these suckers we got here in America to make one Castro. And I got Dominique, y'all. Ladies in the house, I got Dominique. I tell you need to check in. We're going to pump it up about the UNCF.
No need to ask, he's a smooth.
That's right, the UNCF. That stands for the United Negro College Fund. Dominique is having his big-time All-Star Classic coming up August the 25th at the Omni, ladies. And he's right here live at 640 WGST. You thought I was a smooth operator. Neat. It's neat, y'all, but I tell you, if I was just tall, you know, I can bounce a ball, but I'm not tall, you know. Dominique Wilkins live for you right here on News Radio 640 WGST. Want you to check in. The telephone number once again, 1-800-FON-WGST, 233-WGST. Got tickets and maybe a couple of Dominique autographs. You know, I get him to scribble that DW on a couple of carbon copies and things, and we'll sell them. No, we'll give them away. Dominique Wilkins and Ralph from Ben Hill right back after we take this break. And don't forget, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Yeah, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. I got 2 tickets to the, and really we ought to have 50. Dominique ought to come up out of his pocket with 50 tickets to this big time Dominique Wilkins United Negro College Fund All-Star Classic coming up Sunday. I tell you, he's a smooth operator. Right here at 640 WGST with my main man, Dominique. I got the main man, the power forward, all-pro, perennial all-pro with the Atlanta Hawks. Dominique, welcome to News Radio 640 WGST, brother.
Thank you. Glad to be here. And by the way, I'm a small forward.
You're a small. I got you mixed up with Carl Malone.
Yeah, the big guys.
Yeah. Well, you're a big forward to me, man. Listen, I want to compliment you first of all, brother, and welcome you to the Talk How You Like Underground Posse. And I want to compliment you on your career, my brother. I call the sports shows all over town, and I have been one of your biggest defenders. I mean, I ain't trying to put no butter on your home or no gravy or nothing. But every time they turn around, trade Dominique. They need to trade Dominique. He's too selfish. I was saying, hey, man, the Hawks would not be, they would be the Hawks without Dominique. You take the H out the Hawks, man. Congratulations on a hell of a career. And also, while I'm putting some butter on you, man, I want to compliment you on your lifestyle, my brother. We don't read about you pulled over behind the wheel, drunk, behind the wheel in your Porsche. They don't ever read about you doped all up. I want to compliment you on living a nice, clean lifestyle. You are definitely a role model. My son is crazy about you, bro.
Oh, thank you very much. You know, I try to set an example for young people. A lot of people don't look at that. A lot of people here don't really understand actually what I do there on the floor with my team. I've never been a selfish player. I've always been a winner.
Right.
No matter how the outcome, may be. But people who really don't know basketball are always quick to say, oh, yeah, we should trade him. He's the only guy we can get any value for.
Yeah,
which makes no sense whatsoever.
None whatsoever. And them same suckers couldn't bounce a basketball down their driveway. Listen, Nick, I also want to compliment you on your commitment. I made some comments a couple of days ago about my main man, Michael Jordan, not wanting to step up and deal with real controversy. But to get involved with these charities like the UNCF is really, really a noble venture. How did you get hooked up with the UNCF?
Actually, I got involved with them, I guess, maybe about 6 years ago with Magic Johnson, and we had talked for like a year or two that we should do this on the East Coast. Yeah. This game on the West Coast is going well. Why don't we do another one on the East Coast? So we kind of got together. We talked about it. We planned for it, and we just put it together.
Well, look, now I saw you on Arsenio. I saw you on Arsenio a couple of weeks ago in the crowd. How come he didn't bring you up to the sofa, man?
Well, they was, but I was kind of sitting back. I was kind of incognito.
Oh,
but
okay.
They still noticed me there anyway.
Oh, okay. They still noticed you. Okay, now you got a big event coming up. Big event. It's the Dominique Wilkins United Negro College Fund All-Star Classic, and it's coming up Sunday, August 25th. Can you tell us who's going to be there, man?
Oh, I got a lot of guys going to be there. I got the Lethal Weapon 3, Chris Mullen, Tim Hardaway, Mitch Richmond.
Yeah.
My brother, of course,
Gerald from New York.
Olin Polonese, Horace Grant. I got
what about
Sam
Spuddy?
Perkins.
Spud's coming back.
Oh, yeah, Spud. Cliff Livingston.
Cliff is my neighbor, man. Sucker had a party the same day I had a party,
Didn't invite you, did he?
No, but all the honeys went to his house. All the honeys went to his crib. So we're having a big game. Now tell me, is this game a lot of fun, or is it I have never gone. I understand this is the fourth one you've done.
Yeah, this is competitive, but also it's a ton of fun. Actually, I think this game will be better than any game we've had because of the players that we have coming to this game. We got some great players coming to this game.
Now, what about the preliminary activities? I understand that Saturday from 1 to 4, y'all are having a clinic where young folks can actually come out and touch you and learn some of the basics of the game over at Clark.
Yeah, we've got the whole AU Center where we're going to have kids at all those gyms. I'm going going down from gym to gym with a lot of the players who are coming in, and that's going to be a great weekend. We also have a black tie fair on Friday night.
Friday night.
Yeah, I think we got Phyllis Hyman performing.
Yeah, I heard y'all sneaking in town. Now, what time is this going to crank up?
That's going to start at 7 o'clock.
Oh, man. Can y'all put it off to around 10? When y'all, I'm on the... Oh, man, I got the posse here. Nick, can you take just a couple of calls from the people out here, man? We got people on hold. Nick in Midtown. You want to holler at Nick?
Yeah, Nick.
How
you think y'all going to come out this fall, man? Y'all go against the Lakers and the other NBA cats?
Good question. Well... I could better answer that question when the season starts. Right now, we got rid of two great guards in Spud Webb and Doc Rivers. When you lose two guards like that, it's hard to replace it any kind of way. But, hopefully they made the right moves. I hope they did for our sake. So I just see what's going to happen. Hopefully we can have those two positions that can compete. I hope they are ready to play because I will be.
Nick, I wanted to pump up the UNCF thing, but I could not let you get away without asking you a couple of questions about the breakup of the Hawks. Emotionally, now you go through things where you get coaches fired, new coaches in town, then you work with people and you sweat with people and you cry and you win and you lose with people like Doc and Spud. It's got to hurt a little bit, man. How do you get over the feeling?
Well, I think it hurt me more this year than any year I've ever been in the league because we lost 4 of the top 6 guys this year. But John Battle, Spud Webb, Doc Rivers, Mose Malone, guys that I've went through battle with.
Right.
And when you see those type of guys leave, you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's just
Are you scared?
Feeling.
Are you scared, brother? You think like
you're a little nervous. You're a little scared.
But in a way, you're thankful too that you didn't get gone and things.
Well, yeah, but I'm like this here. I mean, no matter where I ever go, I'm gonna do well. So it doesn't really matter if that situation come up because they've been talking trade with me for the last 2 years, which I don't understand the reason why, but because I've been consistent every year, I've been in the league and gotten better, but I'm always prepared for the worst. But I love Atlanta. I love playing in Atlanta, and hopefully I retire.
Now I go to every game when I'm not on the air. You all are playing, and so that's kind of like a blessing to me, man. But I sit right behind. Well, I used to sit right behind Moses on the bench. But I noticed every game you guys got a ritual, man. You would come and like spread out on 2 seats, and you wouldn't say nothing to nobody. And you kind of look around. Then Kevin Willis would get down on the ground and start praying in that last chair, and Doc would stand on the edge of the flow bowl down there with a towel, and he would hit Kevin, and you would do your thing, and then boom, y'all get it cranked up. That's what you did every game.
That was a little
every game
ritual I do before each game. I'll shoot for a while. The last minute before the horn blows, I go sit down. I kind of get my mind together, start thinking of things I need to do, how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to guard this guy.
Right.
And that's something I do before every game.
Nick, you're a strong brother, man. I love you. The United Negro College Fund has really got an all-pro when they got you, my man. This coming up on the 25th of this month, the 25th of August, Sunday at, what, 2 o'clock, right?
2 o'clock
2
Sunday.
o'clock, the United Negro College Fund Dominique Wilkins All-Star Classic. Man, I tell you, it's going to be cool. I got a son at home, man. He told me the other day, he said, Dad, I'm in my growing spurt. I said, yeah, bro, I hope you can get big as Dominique, but he's crazy about you. I wish you the best of luck, my brother, in the upcoming season, and I know this United Negro College Fund benefit is going to be a big success. We're giving away tickets on every show all day. I'm going to have the posse there. That's a guaranteed 100,000 folks. I can't wait till they finish the dome, man, where we can get at least 200,000 folks in the dome.
That's going to be a great place.
Great place. Great place.
Olympics coming up, too?
Hey, continued success, Neat.
Thank you very much.
Dominique Wilkins, ladies and gentlemen. 233 WGST. Come on, Posse. Let's get off that horse. Get off that horse and tie him up to that tree over there. Come sit around this campfire and let's kick it on the radio. Ralph from Ben Hill. Talk how you like. Just shook hands with Neek. I tell you, when I think about all the times that brother slam dunked that ball and the millions that he's making, boy, I tell you, I should have played that basketball. 233 WGST, 1-800-FON WGST. We're talking about those spies, those sorry hostages that everybody's debriefing and celebrating and everything, you know? Eating tuna fish and drinking apple juice and laying up in hospitals and things. Air conditioned. They got radios and they got Bibles. You know, those Bibles that we got in slavery were nothing but the extensions of our chains and the extensions of our shackles. This sucker is a hostage. He's confined. He's some kind of captive, and everybody's celebrating when he gets released after 4 years. But we did 500 years in jail over here in this wilderness of North America. We didn't get debriefed. We didn't get any tuna fish and apple juice. We didn't get any kind of hospitalization, you know? We didn't get nothing. Coke Man, Austell, I'm going to give you the shirt off my back. I promised you the shirt off my back. First caller tonight, just the shirt off my back. You get this shirt that I have on, funky and all. Talk how you like. Get out of town, you know what I'm saying?
All right, what's up, Ralph?
Man, how come y'all wouldn't let me eat my lunch, man? That's one reason why I don't go to the beautiful restaurant anymore, because I can't eat in peace. Standing up there watching me swallowing and chewing and things, man. I had to eat with my teeth in my mouth. Normally I take my teeth out and gum the food. Y'all stand up there over me. I had to keep my teeth in.
Yeah, Ralph, Man, you had all that stuff in your teeth, man. I ain't want to tell you this.
I know it was in my teeth. I couldn't get it out. Them collard greens stick in your teeth and them cone and okra and stuff home. Well, I got straight.
Yeah, but what I want to say is, first of all, you know I'm a first-time caller, right?
But you a pro. You can handle it.
Right, I'm regular, you know.
Big, tall Coke man like yourself, all the folks you meet and greet every day, you know.
Yeah, but my lady listen, man. My wife listen to me, man.
Your wife is listening?
Yeah.
Oh, you still married to the white girl?
Oh. Yeah, Ralph, what's up? Yeah, man, but I just want you to, just continue the good work and all that.
All right, partner. All right.
Give me the shirt off your back.
All right, partner, I'll put you on hold. Boy, I tell you, these beggars call up. They just beg and put them on hold, get the name, address, you know, like we're doing the ticket giveaways. And by the way, speaking of giveaways, we got 2 tickets to the Dominique All-Star, the United Negro College Fund All-Star Classic Sunday, August 25th at the Amane. Also, I got 2 tickets to the Bill Lucas Memorial Football Classic coming up Saturday, August 31st at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. This is going to be a hell of a game. We're talking about Clark High and Mo Brown and Alabama State and Jackson State. Going to be 2 great teams, 4 great teams, 2 great games. Hey, these can be yours. 233 WGST, 1-800-FON WGST. We're going to take a 90-second break. Come right back to Ella in Garden Hills, Tom in Roswell, Brian in Stone Mountain. We're going to get the Coke Man off the phone, clear that line up, giving him this shirt off my back. 233 WGST, 1-800-FON WGST.
Hey, homeboy.
What, man?
Homeboy.
What?
Homeboy.
What, man?
Get on down and tell him, brother.
Ella in Garden Hills, you're back live on News Radio 640 WGST, and thank you for holding, Ella.
Yes, I'm here. Hi.
Hey.
I've been advised to call you, Ralph.
All right.
And talk to you and see what you can help us do to get this law about hitting school children changed in this state.
You mean there's a state law on the books that says corporal punishment is still legal?
Yes, sir.
Now, I understand that they have outlawed it in the city of Atlanta.
Well, do you want to guarantee me right now that my child or your child would not be hit?
I think that if the parents give the school their permission, it's okay.
No, it isn't.
Oh.
No, it isn't.
Oh.
misunderstanding word go. It is not okay.
So are you involved in a situation where somebody's been brutalized by somebody at a school?
I can't quite say that, can I?
Yes, you can. This is the Talk How You Like Underground Posse now. If you're scared, say you're scared.
I'm scared.
Okay, all right, okay. But what is the school in the city of Atlanta?
The schools that are using it and saying they are not using it because they don't want to admit what they're doing are wrong.
You know, now, this is
no matter where they are, all over the state. There's been recently a big article written by Betsy White in the Atlanta Constitution, which I would like to send you a copy of.
Please.
Because it outlines and shows you with maps and charts exactly where it's legal and not legal. Because the law says that the school system has the responsibility to make the policy, and once the policy's made, that's law, and it cannot be abused. Therefore, the child cannot be abused. If the parent gives permission, and this is a misunderstanding. Lots of folks think that it's true, that the parent can come to the school and say, hit my child. And the teacher can. But here's what one principal in Cook County Middle School said, according to this article. Some parents tell me, just whip him, but I say, why don't you whip him? And they say, I have, but it hasn't done any good. And I say, well, you should learn something from that. And this is exactly what I'm saying as a teacher. And what a lot of teachers are saying. And what a lot of parents are saying, that it is parent responsibility to spank a child if they need spanking, which is very, 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 very,
very rare. I can't bring myself to whoop any one of my three, although I've been tempted once or twice. You know, my father never whooped me. He always told me he was going to whoop me when he came home from work, you know. And that meant I whooped myself psychologically all while he was at work, you know.
Well, I was spanked, and I have spanked. And
well, I have done a little spanking, and I got spanked by my mama. She's the one that whooped me with that oak limb. I can't even go near an oak tree now, Ella, without shivering, thinking about that whooping my mama gave me. Well, I detect the desperation in your voice, and I'm really just trying to diffuse it with a little humor. But send me the article, and we'll get to the bottom of it. Surely we can come to the rescue of the kids, especially if they're being brutalized by some kind of bully principal or bully coach or bully assistant principal, you know.
It's well documented throughout the state.
I believe you.
What's happening, and I believe you've gotten some other information about it, or you wouldn't have mentioned it.
Right. I did know a little bit about it, but I'm not well versed. Send me the article, darling. 550 Far Road, and I jump dead on it with all 4 feet. Tom in Roswell, it's you now, man. You're on the Talk How You Like Underground Posse.
Hey, Ralph. How you doing, bud?
Living large, guy.
Hey, I've been listening to you ever since I discovered WGST several months ago. And I don't always agree with you, but I understand where you're coming from. I got to tell you, I'm a native of Key West, Florida.
All right.
And I'm 47 years old. I grew up there during the Cuban crisis, and I was raised with a lot of Hispanic people, many of them the natives of Cuba. And when I heard your comments earlier about Fidel, I just kind of felt you went too far, and I was inclined to pick up the phone to call.
All right, let's talk about it.
And my dad still lives there. And
in Cuba?
No.
In Key West. Okay.
Yes. And he's a sea captain, and he makes his living on the water.
Okay.
And I talk to him 2 or 3 times a week, and when he tells me about the refugees that they pick up, I mean, this is like now in the last week or two, that they pick up on inner tubes or rafts, people that are trying to cross in desperation to get across the Gulf Stream from Cuba to the U.S. mainland just for freedom. And they're picking these people up dead because they don't have enough seawater, they don't have enough food, etc. These folks are leaving, and it's not because Fidel ate rats and he's tough, etc. There's something wrong there, and I just felt a real need to. I mean, I understand that I understand there's a lot of emotion here, but
see, when you say it's something wrong there,
I'm just
Fidel created. He did not. Well, let me say this. Fidel he cleansed the greatest wrong that was on his island. Before Fidel Castro took over Cuba, the United States, through its mafia and its CIA and its other covert wings, had Cuba was a virtual a filth pit. Prostitution, dope was rampant, smuggling, everything and anything illegal. The biggest vice that you want to name was going on down in Cuba.
Yeah, but Ralph, that was not the...
That was the United States. It was documented.
That was Fulgencio Batista.
And he was the puppet of the United States.
He was a long-term dictator.
We put him in there.
Yeah.
Castro is for the people are for Castro. The suckers that you see dead floating up to Key West or dead trying to come from Cuba are the puppets that the United States had up down there that are no longer in power and are no longer comfortable. Just like in 1975 when that helicopter was lifting off of the embassy and folks was just falling all off all them Vietnamese that we had trained and spoiled in the ways of the United States that we left behind. Those are the kind of suckers that you find floating down there in Key West. See, the United States has tried for 30 years with this embargo to starve Castro. They have tried 25 times to kill him. He beat their butts back in 1961 when President Kennedy unleashed some little CIA operatives, some little textbook, little G.I. Joe type suckers. He blew all them up. He's had conspiracies all of his life, but nothing can harm Fidel because he is for the people and the people are for him, and that's evident. That's evident. They said cancer was going to get him with the big cigars, but he stopped smoking. You know, his health is better. See, the United States tries to find a bad guy all over the world to zero in on and say, hey, this guy's a bad guy. Fidel Castro is a great man. He is a great man. No doubt I doubt it. No doubt I doubt it. He's a great man. Look at the suicide rate in this country. These suckers that we got running around here jumping off of buildings. When the stock market crashes or these suckers catch their old ladies in bed with another man. You know, Fidel Castro ate rats. He was imprisoned. He lived in jail. You know, the United States tried to send everything over there. The Cuban Missile Crisis, everything, you know. But he's still kicking. Still kicking strong. Viva Fidel! Bunch of so-called Cuban exiles that are waiting on Castro to die. You know, they're waiting on him to die. He ain't going nowhere. And they can't go back to Cuba when he does die, you know. Even boy George Bush was running his mouth the other day over there in Moscow with his boy garbage truck talking about Fidel Castro. Why don't you just leave him alone, you know? Why don't you just leave him alone? The United States has embargoed Cuba for over 30 years. You know, won't allow any goods to come out of Cuba. Some of the best bass fishing on the planet Earth is right down there in Cuba. Sugar cane right down there in Cuba. They got goods and items that we need. They got labor down there, smart, clear-thinking, sober people down there in Cuba that we just disregard because Castro stood up to the sucker CIA. He stood up to the sucker FBI. He stood up to these sucker perpetrators, and he didn't allow them to take over his country, and he went to war. He picked up guns, you know. He picked up guns, and he kicked the United States butt, and these white folks don't like that. Jim on a mobile phone. You're on the Underground Talk. How you like, Posse?
Hey, Brother Ralph.
How you living?
Living large. Living large. Yeah, I was just listening to you with this Castro thing. I don't understand why you are so pro-Castro.
I'm pro-Castro because Castro is a freedom fighter. Castro is for the oppressed. The majority of the people on the island of Cuba are black people. Castro stands up for those oppressed people. They've been deprived. Yeah, I know.
Ralph,
yeah.
Those are some of the most oppressed people in the world.
No, partner.
Regime.
No, sir.
Hey. They are coming over on these boats. You don't see people leaving Florida going to Havana.
Partner, they can't get in. You see the CIA leaving Florida trying to get to Havana. That reverse psychology thing won't work, homeboy. And look here, you go down to Grady Hospital and you check the infant mortality rate down there at Grady Hospital. You go down there and you watch how long it takes a little mother and her child to get to see a doctor and to get some medicine. And then you check out Cuba with their free medical care. And you tell me those people are oppressed down there, man. Folks living large in Cuba.
Don't tell me those guys that are coming over here on inner tubes.
Partner, you might see one or two suckers on inner. What about all them suckers over in Albania, man?
Ralph, I'm surprised at you.
I hope you are surprised because you gained some knowledge tonight, my brother. That Marietta boat lift thing.
I gained some knowledge of you.
All right, we'll talk to you later, maggot. Let's go to Eddie and Buckhead. You're on the Underground Talk. How you like, Posse?
Yeah, Ralph. Well, I'm just going to mention, first of all, you said Grady Hospital. There's a torture chamber in the middle of Cuba as size of Grady House. More people.
Man, that's nothing but United States propaganda. I would hang up on you, but I want to hear some more.
It's Amnesty International.
Man, damn Amnesty International. Amnesty International ain't nothing.
Okay.
They not nothing as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, well, let me...
You know, if they were anything, we would have some action over here in this country. I'm telling you that all this propaganda that you and that maggot on the mobile phone calling up espousing, that same kind of propaganda is the stuff that the United States has been putting out. Castro is for his people are for him. You see him in the crowds with the people, at the games with the people. You look at this little thing on TBS, they've been showing the Pan American games down there on the island. You don't see folks like they have them up in Wichita all in the streets protesting abortions, people with signs talking about kill Castro. Surely with Brent Musburger and some of these other nosy white folks that they got sniffing around down there in Cuba, they can send some information back, but you don't see it, and it's not there. And these little puppet megalomaniacs that have been trained by the United States to parrot the United States party line that Castro is some kind of monster. We need Castro in America.
Ralph, you're right. I mean, to lead a country, you have to kill and torture your people. But anyway,
yeah, right, sucker. I'm finna let you go, man.
No, not yet.
All right.
Let me finish.
All right.
Okay. You said the CIA is mad because he hit the CIA. And
he blew him up.
The CIA supported Castro, and Castro turned on him after he supported him.
That's right. That's right.
Well, look.
That's right. We agree.
And I have one question to ask you.
All right.
What school did you learn history at? What school did you go to?
I went to a school called the School of Hard Knocks.
No, but Ralph, there's a school where information is disseminated, and it's not the School of Hard Knocks.
Yes, it is.
What school did you go to where you got your information? I mean, I think you are so misled. The Braves are coming on this station. But out of the way.
All right.
All right?
All right, buddy.
Talk to you later.
Hey, do me a favor, man.
What's that?
Drop dead. Brian in Stone Mountain, you're on the Talk How You Like Underground Posse.
Hey, Ralph, how's it going, man?
I'm living large.
Well, listen, I wanted to talk about the Afro-American blacks.
All right.
I'm a young black male here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
From New Orleans, and I'm working hard trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But what I would like to see you, and I'm challenging you to take the lead because I think that you're capable, and I think that it's going to take people like you and myself to really change some things. So what I'm talking about is this. Around the world, we see all types of movement with people getting what they need all over the world. And they're doing that because they're mobilizing and organizing themselves. We keep saying what everybody's doing to us, but I don't see us really getting together in a real sense, not just talking about it, but there is no one point that I could call up and say, hey, I'm trying to start a business or I'm trying to do something. What can I do with my skills to help us to get where we need to be? I mean, we don't have that type of organization amongst ourselves. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's real important that somebody like yourself get all the disc jockeys around the country. And it's not just for Afro.
All right, let me slow you down a little bit and give a little reality to the situation. I'm new, man. I'm new, and my situation here is by no means permanent. You know, I'm here just like by the skin of my teeth. I'm here basically for entertainment, and a lot of times I provide infotainment. I give you a little information with some entertainment. I will take the challenge, my brother. I will be glad to take the challenge. I'll take it and see what I can do with it, but I can't promise you much. There are a lot of people barring a whole lot of doors around here, you know, a whole lot of doors. Can I quickly go to Tom on the mobile phone before we take this? All right, Tom on the mobile phone, quickly, before I don't want to have you held during the break.
Hey, good evening, Ralph. How are you doing?
Doing great.
Good. I appreciate you taking my call.
That's all right. Thank you for calling.
Well, thank you. I just wanted to talk about Fidel Castro in Cuba, and he's somebody that's really been curious in my mind. He's one of the most successful leaders in the world in history of modern day history, being that you think about when he came into power and
who he's up against
and who he's up against
and where he is. He's over here in the Western Hemisphere with a communist country.
One of the strongholds of communism, and I'm very much against communism. I'm pretty conservative on all fronts.
I understand.
But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You were talking about the media talking about and the party line, the United States party line.
Yeah.
Which, to a certain degree I espouse. But don't you think that the media is independent enough of the United States party line to as far as a liberal leaning, that they would be thinking independently and sending back independent messages to the states?
Yes, I do, but we haven't seen them. I haven't seen them. I haven't seen Ed Bradley down there. I haven't seen Morley Safe or Dan Rather down there in 60 Minutes talking crazy. Every time you get a chance, they're trying to get down there to meet and greet and talk with Castro. Ted Turner went down there. Yeah. Ted Turner's got 50 TV stations, satellites all over the world. He didn't come back with any bad information, but boy, George Bush will do business with student-stomping Chinese. He'll do business with the Israelis. They're at the top of the list of bombing and killing babies. But Castro, minding his own business, down there in Cuba, they want to talk about, he's a perpetrator, he's a dictator. They got a torture chamber down there, biggest Grady Hospital, man. What extremes won't these white folks go to put somebody down, I don't know. They're going to probably be talking about me pretty soon, Ralph from Ben Hill, he's on dope. Or Ralph from Ben Hill, he's gay, he's gay, please.
I'm going to tell all my friends to listen to the Ralph from Ben Hill show. Daddy, I like your show.
All units along Industrial to pick up the motorcade. Something has happened here. We understand there has been a shooting. The presidential car coming up now. We know it's the presidential car. You can see Mrs. Kennedy's pink suit. There's a Secret Service man, spread eagle over the top of the car. We understand Governor and Mrs. Connolly are in the car with President and Mrs. Kennedy. We can't see who has been hit, if anybody's been hit, but apparently something is wrong here. Something is terribly wrong. I'm in behind the motorcade trying to follow them. It looks as though they're going to Parkland Hospital.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special bulletin. Dallas, Texas. The flash, apparently official. President John F. Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Castro has outlived eight. Not outlived, let me say he has outlasted eight United States presidents. Giton, North Atlanta, you're on the Talk How You Like Underground Posse.
Yes, I just wanted to comment on, adult teachers.
Yes.
On, children.
Have you been hit?
No way. I was one.
That's an easy way to stop it, Giton. All you have to do is tell your mother or your father. And if you got real parents, they'll be down to the school the first thing in the morning, and everything will be cool,
Yeah, but my mom, sometimes she just thinks that, I need to get hit. I know, but it's just the fact of hitting a child. If you shouldn't, you shouldn't do that.
No, you should not.
I don't care what your parents say. If they give you, it gives authorities at the school instructions to hit your child, their child, or
that's right,
something like that. But they shouldn't. I don't care what anybody says, and that's all I wanted to say.
Well, darling, thank you for holding, and we appreciate you talking with us tonight.
I appreciate you talking.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, let's go to Al in Jonesboro. Al, sir, you're on the Underground Talk How You Like Posse.
How you doing, Ralph?
Living large, Big Al.
Look here.
Yeah.
Castro is no different from the people you consider oppressors.
You crazy. You crazy.
Over 60% of the population is Afro-Cuban, but yet...
Afro-Cuban. Okay, like Afro-American. I got you.
Yet there are I don't think there's a single black person in the hierarchy.
You crazy.
Of Cuba, of Castro's little government.
You stone crazy. Have you been watching the Pan American Games?
Yeah, sure have.
I haven't seen any white folks.
No, you're talking about the games. I'm talking about
the coaches, the athletes, everything, the administrators, the judges on the field, everything. You come to this country, I beg your pardon?
People in power. What about those people?
Partner, they running things. Castro is handling things. See, you fall right behind a sucker like Ronald Reagan, who has that mentality that he's gonna fly over Cuba to get to some Cubans in Grenada. The United States government is a bunch of murdering cowards when it comes to Castro and his treatment, the treatment of his people. United States wants to murder Castro. They can't because he's a strong male who is willing to pay the price for freedom. He will pay the price for freedom. He bought his.
If you want freedom, buy it. And if you don't want to buy it, just sit in front of your television, watch your color TV, drive your BMW, drink your beer, and shut up.
What it is?
What is prejudice?
I think it's when somebody's sick.
Always first for news. Now.
Back at you. Hour number 2 of the Talk How You Like Posse begins right now at 8:08, right here at 640 WGST. I am Ralph from Ben Hill, sending out birthday greetings to my main man, Fidel Castro. Everybody's talking all this stuff about me now, just let me live. 65 years. Make my own decision. That's my prerogative. They say I'm crazy. You know, some folks say that in this government, they say that that Castro, they say here in this government, and the stooges here in this government say that Castro invaded Cuba. I say he rescued Cuba. You know, you got suckers like Tricky Dick, Spiro Agnew, Gerald Ford, Ronnie Reagan, and Boy George Bush running around here exporting terrorism around the world. Nicaragua, all down there in Central America. Look at Panama, the kind of shape that Panama's in. But they can't send that terrorism down to Cuba. They got some U.S.-trained exiles down there in Miami, biting their fingernails off, pulling their hair out, waiting on cancer or AIDS or something to get Castro, you know? I tell you. Stand up, Fidel. Viva la revolution. Viva Fidel. All right, let's go back to the calls. 233 WGST is the number. 1-800-FON-WGST. Let's go to Chuck. Morris Brown. Chuck, you're on the Talk How You Like Underground Posse.
How you doing, Ralph?
Living large.
Hey, you know, it ought not, and tell me if I'm wrong, it seems like white conservative America has been trying for 50 years to manufacture a real legitimate enemy out of communism. And they can't do it. They can't do it. Every time somebody like Castro, somebody or some country offers something that's alternative to a father knows best Ronald Reagan type of society, white America wants to scream communism.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and they said the same thing about Dr. King, and he was a communist sympathizer. They said the same thing about Mandela, communist sympathizer. And, you know, the bottom line is that Castro runs Cuba, and whether he wants to be king, president, prime minister, or dictator, or whatever, it's no threat in any way to this country. And I just don't see how we can sit up and make a threat out of something that to me is non-existent.
But the threat is there. The threat is a veiled threat. Castro poses the threat of the word that you use, threat. If we extend that word and say threatening, anytime somebody stands up to the United States and threatens the interest or the status quo, the United States single-handedly, with Teddy Roosevelt and them suckers charging up the San Juan Hill down there in Cuba, they single-handedly turned the island of Cuba, the largest island in the Caribbean, they single-handedly turned Cuba into a cesspool of prostitution and whores, a cesspool of dope and all kind of smuggling, a cesspool of gambling and all kind of illicit money activities, and they had a big thing going down there in Cuba. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, Ralph, you cannot give a historical perspective, or you cannot give a historical relevance to a Francis Ford Coppola. You know, on one hand, we'll watch the movie that Francis Ford Coppola made, Apocalypse Now, and say, oh, that was Vietnam, man. That's how it was. That's Vietnam. And then when you turn around and you look at the other movie that Francis Ford Coppola made, I think it was Godfather 2, where Michael Corleone was down there with Hyman Roth down there in Cuba trying to take over some gambling and some mafioso type activities that the mafia already had going down there, and then they had to run for their very lives. And that's what's happening to the interest of the United States when it comes to Cuba. Cuba is full of natural resources that we could use here, and we just can't get them through the regular foreign policy that I call piracy. It's nothing but foreign piracy. They can't export that to Cuba, and Castro will have none of it.
Well, you're right. It's like if America can't run things,
it ain't nothing. Right. That's right. Appreciate your call, Doctor. Let's go to Nick in Woodstock. Nick, you're on the Talk How You Like Underground Posse.
Hey, Ralph. How you doing?
Great.
Hey, I love your show. I really do.
You don't agree with everything I always say, but you like the show. All right. Come on.
You know, I got a couple questions.
All right.
First of all, how did Castro turn Cuba, a country with the entire communist bloc to sell to, from a country which exported food to one which has to import food to survive?
Okay, easy. I can answer that question easily. Let me answer that question first. Everybody around the world, everybody, including Russia. We just had a big conference with Russia. They are begging for food. Russia now, one of the biggest, I think they might be bigger than us when it comes to an industrialized military-type power. They are begging. Russia needs things, man. The island like Cuba, has to have certain manufactured goods. They have to have some type of imports coming in. I mean, the only other island that I can think of that is self-sufficient might be Australia, and it's an island continent, and they receive certain goods in trade and whatnot through export and import. But Cuba has been isolated for 30 years, yet they're still going strong.
But they haven't been isolated from the communist bloc, which did have the industrial might to at least produce tractors and fertilizer and other things to produce food. But I also have another question for you. How can you justify Castro spending millions on the Pan Am Games while even he admits that his economy is in ruins?
Well, he's getting some help with those Pan Am Games. I'm not familiar with the actual breakdown of the monetary structure of how they run those things. I was in Puerto Rico back in 1979 when the Pan American Games were held in Puerto Rico. And Puerto Rico, by and large, is a poor island country, but yet and still they put on the same kind of games. Nobody complained when we had the games in Puerto Rico. No matter how hot it was, no matter what the food was like, nobody complained. But you let suckers like Brent Musburger and some of these other spoiled brats go down into Cuba and they want to complain.
Hey, Ralph, Cuba's another thing. I've been to Puerto Rico. I agree with you 100% there. What we're doing to those people down there is abhorrent.
And they're United States property.
Yeah, and I'm a conservative Republican, but when I visited there, I knew that we're treating those people wrong down there in Puerto Rico. But anyway, I hope your endorsement of Castro isn't an endorsement of communism, though.
No, it's not.
Can't be.
No, it's not. My endorsement of Castro is one of one man endorsing another strong man who stands up for his beliefs and who goes, he put his life on the line for his people, and that's admirable. You got suckers like Spiro Agnew and Tricky Dick Nixon and Ronald Reagan and Boy George who are ripping this country off, and yet and still they're heroes. They have the hero stature. I'm saying that Castro is 10 times tougher than any kind of Richard Nixon or Spiro Agnew.
Well, he did outlast 8 presidents, but maybe that's because it's a dictatorship.
Yeah, okay, all right.
All right, thank you.
All right, as far as I'm concerned, we got a dictatorship here when it comes to the Republican Party, and you conservative guys. Gotta take a break, Jaji? Gotta take a break? All right, Pete, stand by in Marietta. Steve in Northeast Atlanta. Oh, my friend Steve is checking in. And Rob in Roswell. Oh, boy, when I see Steve up there, man, I just, my little curly hair straightens out. 233 WGST miles from the United States. I tell you, the best bass fishing on the planet Earth. You haven't caught a bass until you caught a Cuban bass. Yeah. 233 WGST, 1-800-FON WGST. Happy birthday, Fidel. Viva la revolution.
Traveling in a freighter combi on a hippie trailhead full of zombies.
Hi, everybody. The Anheuser-Busch Companies, Coca-Cola USA, and McDonald's present the 4th annual Dominique Wilkins UNCF All-Star Classic Basketball Game at the Omni.
Boy, he sounds
good. This is Ralph from Ben Hill.
Oh,
and this will be the ultimate basketball talent showcase, featuring the NBA's premier performers, shooting for the stars, to benefit the United Negro College Fund and its 41 predominantly black private institutions, 5 of which are located right here. There will also be a youth basketball clinic held at Clark Atlanta University from 1 to 4 on Saturday, August 24th. Scheduled participants in the game include Dennis Scott, Chris Mullen, Rex Chapman, Magic, Charles Barkley, Magic, Kurt Rambis, Magic, Gerald Wilkins, Magic, Spud Webb, Magic, Cliff Livingston, and many more. Magic is available through the Omni box office and all Ticketmaster locations. And remember, a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
We give you traffic and weather together when you need them the most. On your way to work and back home again. On News Radio 640, WGST.
Yeah, everybody wants to rule the world, right? Tears for fears. Everybody wants to rule the world. How appropriate, The Cuban Missile Crisis. Khrushchev, Brezhnev, I tell you, back at Castro. And Ronald Reagan flying over Cuba. He flew troops over Cuba to get to some Cubans in Grenada. You know, I mean, what kind of sense does that make? Why don't they just take the fight to Cuba, you know? I want you guys to suit up Operation Desert Storm. You kick Saddam's butt. What about Castro, you know? I thought he was next. Yeah, you know? You got Libya. You bombed and killed Gaddafi's little girl, you know, an adopted child. When are you gonna bomb Castro, you know? Huh? I don't think so. Let's go back to the calls. 233-WGST, 1-800-FON WGST. Sneaky Pete in Marietta. You're on the Talk How You Like Underground Posse.
Ralph, join your show tonight.
Thank you, sir.
But you can't live large in Cuba, I'm afraid.
Yes, you can, man.
Oh, you can, man. I was born there. I know what I'm talking about.
You ever had some black bean soup, man?
Yeah.
That's the headquarters. Have you ever had any real Cuban food?
I certainly have. I was born in Cuba.
How long did you live down there?
I lived there 10 years.
What? Well, I guess the Greyhound took you down there and the Bloodhounds run you out.
The banana boat with Delta on it.
That's cute. But seriously, what were you doing in Cuba?
Well, my folks lived there. We were like fourth generation from Spain, and they left. You know, it was a pretty rough scenario there. They saw a lot of their friends get, assassinated, murdered, etc. by the Castro regime. And if you were pro-Batista or pro-Castro, you know, you could get it from either side. It was just a matter of, which side you were on that.
Well, I'm definitely anti-Baptista. Baptista was a puppet set up by the United States.
Sure he was.
You know, and then they imprisoned Castro because he had a populist movement behind him. Folks like Che Guevara and other strong revolutionary people got behind him, and the United States just couldn't stand it. They didn't like it, you know. I mean, they ran down to Panama, played that loud music outside the embassy, and ran Noriega crazy, you know, and now they're working on his acne up there in some kind of prison somewhere. But they cannot, no matter what, they cannot get Fidel.
No, you're right. He's pretty elusive.
He's not elusive. He's in the open. He's running. If we wanted to get Fidel, we could have given Brent Musburger a nice little Uzi, you know, and put it in one of his cameras, since he's crying about the air conditioning and the flies down there in Cuba. You know, you don't hear him crying about those fine sisters down there on that island, though. Have you been watching the Pan American Games?
Yeah, I have when I have a chance.
What's that sister's name who has won everything that she has entered in the track and field event? Anna something, Annabelle, Anna Flora, Fiona.
I haven't.
I'm gonna find her name. I'm gonna find her name. Fine as wine. Well, I love to see those sisters running with those sleek outfits that they have on. But you left Cuba. Did you leave any memories down there?
Yeah, what I can remember of it, but at the same time, you know, it's a better life here in the States. There's no question about it. There are freedoms. You know, there are a lot of things that you sacrifice when you're living in a communist country, and Cuba is one of them. You couldn't have your show in Cuba.
I couldn't?
No, heck no.
Well, we've been blasting something down there to the island.
Blasting your
Radio Free Cuba. We've been blasting United States propaganda down there for what, 70, 80 years.
What I'm saying is, you couldn't be broadcasting, like, say, from Santiago. You couldn't be there. You know, kind of countering the government. No, you could.
Si, senor. This is the Ralph from being here on the ground. Talk how you like, Posse. You know, I could get some calls in Cuba, man. You know?
Yeah, then they trace them.
Hey, Pete, we're tracing your call, buddy. Speaking of trace, get that tracer thing on. Hook that tracer up, all right? Let's find out where this sucker lives. I mean, he called Ike Newkirk 5 times on Sunday. Ike! Ike! Steve in Northeast, you're on the Talk How You Like Underground Posse.
Comrade Ralph.
Hey, viva la revolution!
Hey, look, Ralph.
Yeah.
I am having an influence on you, man. I'm straightening your hair out.
Yeah, right. I'm telling you, you are.
I tell you, man, I'm going to turn you into a white man before it's over with.
God bless you.
Hey, listen, you know, Ralph, speaking of the white man, I too would like to say happy birthday to my fellow white brother, Fidel Castro.
All right.
The white man that runs the island.
Yeah, that's good.
You like that, huh?
Yeah, I like that. You know, white folks, you know, we can't run nothing. Black folks have to have one white man. At least we got him. He's cool. You know, Fidel is our Tarzan, all right?
Yeah. Hey, listen, man, I was thinking about you the other day. I listened to your show with my headset. I was out there on Lake Jackson going fishing.
Oh, beautiful. What did you catch, man?
I caught a few bass.
Man, let me tell you, they got blue bass down there in Cuba with teeth in them out home. They'll tie up some 50-pound test line. You know, some folks went down there on a fishing excursion. Castro will let you in on the island. It's not like it's totally blocked off. You can go down there. If you really want to do some serious bass fishing, I suggest you go to Cuba.
Yeah, I think what they have down there, I think they call them, I believe they call them rainbow bass.
Yeah, rainbow, okay.
And they're very, very large bass. They're
Vicious bass.
Well, they're similar to largemouth bass.
And they are similar. They have not seen the type of lures that we're throwing out at our bass. Looks like our bass are getting immune to these different lures that we're throwing at them now, you know. But let's get back to the political agenda now. This is too nice of a call for you, man.
Oh, man, I'm going to disappoint all the people.
I'll tell you, this is too nice of a call.
Oh, man. No, I just wanted to, you know, I just wanted to give you a call, say hello. You know, I hadn't talked to you before.
Right. You trying to get a talk show somewhere in this market, man. You know, you're trying, because you're doing the same thing I used to do. You calling everybody and giving them hell. And I appreciate you calling me, man. I feel kind of bad. We lost Dwayne. He's been banned for life. And I just can't see it in my heart to ban you, Steve.
Well, yeah, you know, that might have been a mistake, though, to ban Dwayne. I mean,
he threatened my life, man.
He threatened your life?
He said he's going to kill me. I was scared to death out there at Evans Toyota last Saturday out there in Forest Park, you know. That's his stomping ground.
No, he threatened your life.
Man, he told me he's going to blow me up. Told me he's going to load up his stuff, and he cursed about 4 or 5 times. He cussed Liz every time he called up.
Nah, you know. Yeah, but you know Dwayne's not going to try to shoot you, man.
Yeah, right. All right.
You know that.
Yeah, right. Hey, appreciate your call, Stevie. Thought he was going to be mean. He was so sweet. Steve, don't be so sweet. You got to get mean. Maybe Rob will be mean. We're going to take a quick break. 233 WGST. Hey, be right back at you. This is a short break. Yeah. Well, we breaking for the news at 5? Oh, man. God almighty. All right, Rob, lay the phone down, man. Corliss, Southeast Atlanta, waiting to talk to you. Tony on a mobile phone. I want you to straighten me out. 233 WGST, 1-800-FON-WGST. Talking about Fidel Castro and anything else you'd like to talk about tonight, you know. Open lines.
At News Radio 640 WGST, our 3 traffic helicopters cover lots of ground from the sky.
Check with Chopper 3 down south side, 75 out of Clayton, 85 out of South Fulton County. Chopper 2 is on the west side perimeter. You'll find no trouble between I-75 and
So when some station tries to convince you their airplane does the job, you should know that their own reporter doesn't even believe it.
This is Joy. The plane's too slow. I can't get there.
Tricopter traffic on News Radio 640 WGST.
Chopper 3 is there. He has this report. We got a problem over here.
We go the extra mile to give you the shortcuts.
Hey, my friends, let me tell you about Atlanta Salvage Outlet located 1034 Howell Mill Road. Now, a lot of people say, Rev, how do you get there on the bus, man? I ain't got a car. I want to go on the bus and pick up me a couple of 2x4s. I don't know if you can get back on the bus with those 2x4s. If you want to catch the bus, you catch the number 1 Howell Mill or the number 1 Cornet Way. You go to the end of Marietta Street and you bear to the right there where Howell Mill Road starts. Atlanta Salvage Outlet is located behind the Waterworks, over there by the Marta Brady Avenue barn. And listen, your headquarters for anything and everything that you want to use to improve your home. I was in line in a restaurant today and I ran into a guy who I helped put some doors in his car. Guy's name is Chris Crenshaw. He's a State Farm or Allstate. I don't know which one it is. He's a big-time insurance salesman. But he has a lot of rental property around town, and he maintains his property with Atlanta Salvage Building Materials. Now, you can't beat the prices at Atlanta Salvage Outlet. Quick-set door locks, mist-tinted paint, fresh paint, just mist-tinted, $2.99 a gallon, dog food, $3.99 a case. They've got American Standard sinks for your kitchen or sinks for your bathroom, and all of the fixing, all of the plumbing parts. And they just bought up 2 tractor trailers full of these old country hardware store-type materials. You know, I'm talking about pliers, screwdrivers, channel locks, whatever you need, wrenches, bolt cutters, everything right there at 1034 Howell Mill Road. Atlanta Salvage Outlet. The telephone number is 873-4416. Tell them Ralph from Ben Hill sent you.
Broccoli? The president won't even eat broccoli.
One a day knows when it comes to nutrition, some people never grow up.
Help. Help.
That's why millions trust One-A-Day multivitamins. They know One-A-Day Maximum Formula is complete with all the nutrients recommended by the U.S. government, plus beta-carotene, the nutrient found in leafy green vegetables.
I hate rabbit food.
So just eat sensibly and let One-A-Day do the rest. After all, 50 years of trust didn't happen overnight.
Hello, this is Westy Rowe, and for only $68 or less, you can take Greyhound to thousands of interesting places like the Dungeon of Doom in Detroit, Michigan. Yeah, with life-size figures of Dracula and Frankenstein. So hey, plan ahead and you can be here too for only $68 or less on Greyhound. You know that Dracula dude's pretty scary for a wax dummy.
Who are you calling dummy, dude? Don't mess up. Special restrictions apply.
If you miss a day, you miss a lot. On News Radio 640 WGST, Atlanta's first choice for news, traffic, and weather.
Good
Good evening. It's cloudy and 75 degrees. I'm Gene Michaels. News Radio 640 WGST. Tomorrow it'll be mostly cloudy once again with a chance of showers in the high and the low 80s. Atlanta's official 3-day weather forecast is coming up. Here's what's happening at 8:30. Former American hostage Edward Tracy is on his way back to the U.S., where he'll probably undergo psychological counseling. Tracy was released Sunday by his Lebanese captors in Beirut after spending 5 years as a hostage. Iran's ambassador to Germany says the hostage holders in Lebanon are ready to respond if Israel suggests it's ready to order the release of hundreds of Arab prisoners. Clark Clifford has resigned as chairman of the First American Bank shares. The government says the holding company was illegally acquired by scandal-ridden Bank of Credit and Commerce International. Soviet Prime Minister Pavlov is warning of tough economic times for his country. Pavlov says the grain harvest is falling. Some areas have inadequate electricity, and higher energy prices could touch off runaway inflation. News Radio 640 WGST, time 8:31.
The official 3-day Weather Channel forecast from News Radio 640 WGST. A few spotty showers this evening. Otherwise, tonight it's just going to be mostly cloudy with fog redeveloping. We'll have a low near 68 degrees. For Wednesday, some afternoon and evening thunder showers developing, but a lot of clouds and a little bit of sunshine otherwise throughout the day with a high of 82. After those evening thunder showers die out, mostly cloudy, fog again Wednesday night, a low of 67. Now, we'll have partially clearing skies and just a slight chance of a thunder shower on Thursday with a high of 85. And Friday, a nice day, partly cloudy and 88. With 24-hour-a-day coverage at the Weather Channel Cable Network, I'm Brent Bass for 640 WGST.
Thanks, Brent. It's cloudy. 75 degrees now at Atlanta's official weather station, News Radio 640 WGST.
In the next year, America plans on rocketing almost 50 people into space. The Japanese may launch their own manned space program. Plans for the world's first passenger space plane will zoom ahead. The world of space and flight is changing at warp speed. Air and Space Smithsonian Magazine lets you keep up with it all. Each issue of Air and Space Smithsonian offers you and your children a dazzling look at the world of aviation. It's a world of supersonic jet fighters, dreamy hot air balloons, biplanes, real Top Gun pilots, MiGs, Mirages, jump jets, the stealth bomber, and lots more. Don't let the next issue of Air and Space Smithsonian leave the hangar without you. A one-year subscription to Air and Space Smithsonian, published bi-monthly, costs only $18. To take advantage of this offer, call toll-free 800-854-8600. Call now so you won't miss the next exciting issue. That's 800-854-8600.
This is where your FM station gets its news. So why wait? Get the story here first. From us, News Radio 640 WGST.
Any place that goes is right. Goes far, flies near.
233 WGST, 1-800-FON WGST. Fidel Castro lives on, somehow overcoming the plots against him. And as he celebrates his 65th birthday today, he may seem out of step with the times, but as a political survivor, he is without peer. He is without peer, people. Nobody is that bad. Let's get back to the calls. We got Clay in Stone Mountain. We've got Gordon in Marietta. Nazz in southwest Atlanta, but now it's Corliss. Let's go to Corliss in southeast Atlanta. You're on the Talk How You Like Underground Posse.
Yeah, Ralph, how you doing tonight?
Living large, darling.
Good. I just want to tell you that I'm in sync with what you're saying about Fidel Castro. What's amazing to me, though, is that all the African-American brothers and sisters that we have calling in, like they're so against Fidel Castro. And my point is, this is the same people that are telling us that Fidel Castro is such a bad person are the same people that were that told us several years ago that our people were doing nothing but running around in Africa with, naked in the jungle.
Eating each other.
Contributing to anything. When do we wake up as a people and start looking at and admiring those people that stand for freedom and justice? No matter what his means are, the same thing goes with Saddam Hussein and his in the war that went on. The important thing is that you have to stand for something or you'll fall for anything.
There you go. A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything.
That's correct.
Appreciate your call.
Thank you for talking with you.
Thank you for holding, darling. Appreciate it. Good comments. Clay in Stone Mountain. You're on the Talk How You Like Underground Posse.
How's it going, man?
Going great, brother.
All right, I'm out here in Stone Mountain. I was listening to your show talking about Fidel.
Yes, sir.
I agree with you, man. You know, I think it's right that somebody can stand up to the power and, you know, bring it down, and now he's up there, you know, and I think if something's wrong in that country, then the people ought to be able to do it again, you know, but they haven't wanted to, so I see that's right. And the second thing I want to say, though, is I don't think it's right, though, man, to stereotype all Americans and all blacks and all whites and all Albanians.
Right.
You know, I think we're all the same, man. We're all earthlings, and we're all meant to live here together.
True. I wish it was true. Did you hear that little piece that I played with the little girl and the man that was asking her what was prejudice and what was bigotry and all of that?
No, I didn't.
Well, it's a real innocent situation, and it's like all these kids are like the way you describe things. They're just like that. But it's unfortunate, Clay, when they run into the wrong people, they get influenced and misinformed. And a lot of times we have to deal with a lot of this misinformation. The only reason I brought the Albanian situation up is because you're always hearing about the people from Haiti or the Mexicans running, trying to get across the border. And now these Albanians are trying to get out of their country over there in Europe, trying to go to Italy, the 5th largest industrial power, and they're being brutalized, man. I mean, those folks are starving. They don't have any clothes on. They were in worse shape almost. I'm not going to say as bad a shape, but they're in just as bad shape as the Kurds are down there in Iran.
Yeah.
Hey, but I wish it was so, Clay. I wish it was so. You're a young man. You got an opportunity to live your life with the mentality that you have and the perspective that you have, and hopefully you live a long, fruitful life thinking the way that you do, because you're definitely not narrow-minded.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, homie.
The show goes on forever.
It will, player. Truth lasts forever. Appreciate your call. Nazz, Southwest Atlanta. You're on the Talk How You Like Underground Posse.
Good evening, Color Boy. I mean, Ralph from Ben here. How you doing?
You know, that's instant slam. But I'm going to let you go.
Well, listen, man. You're talking about this girl who's winning all those races down there.
What's her name?
In Cuba. I don't know her name. But I'm going to tell you, winning those races to that girl is a matter of life and death.
And that's good.
If you don't win, Castro going to send us to the sugar field.
You crazy.
And a lot of the other brothers and sisters down there that don't win it.
All right, now let me counter your comment with a comment of my own. You can say the same thing about Carl Lewis and some of these other brothers that we got running out here. If they don't win, they're going to be going to the cotton field. Don't you know that they're running for their very life? They're running for Reebok endorsements and Gatorade endorsements, and they're playing for their very financial life. So, yes, I will agree with you, brother, but the same situation applies here.
Listen, man.
You just can't take one situation from one place and not look at the same thing here, my brother.
Listen, Ralph, when you live in a country where you have to be careful what you say, either a person like you can end up in the sugar field, I don't think that's such a great leader.
Partner, you don't think I have to be careful what I say on this microphone? Yeah. And I end up in the cotton field?
You can't use some profanity and maybe some other things, but basically, no. You don't have to be that much careful that you would if you was down in Castro country. The Castro got a sugar field, brother, that he can work you until you drop.
Now, they told that same lie about the Siberian salt mines in Russia somewhere. We get the same old United States hocus pocus about torture chambers and concentration camps in every country that we don't agree with. And like the young man from Stone Mountain called, who I feel has a lot more sense than you do, he made the point that if the people don't like Castro, they would do the same thing to him that he did to Baptista, my brother.
It's possible for you to do that when you're in control of the military and all the arms.
Baptista was in charge of the military and all the arms.
Bricks.
King George was in charge of the military and all of the arms here in this country, and the good old white folks overthrew King George.
Hey,
Vietnamese were rice-eating.
Like equal arms or better had. Do it just with some sticks and stones and words.
Partner, the bottom line is a people that are determined to be free and a people who are willing to pay the price for that freedom, even if it means blood, will be free, my brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. I like to debate like that, you know. He got his shot in, I got my shot in. All right, who won that round? Okay, we'll give it to him. Hey, let me see if I can sneak across the border down there to Castro. You think these white folks will let me go to Cuba on my vacation?
He's going to get across the border before we can catch him. Just like me draw a beat on his black ass and he's dead.
Are you addicted to sex? I'm Dr. Rita Hayter. Let's talk about sexual addiction on For Adults Only, Saturday night from 7 to 10 here on 640 WGST.
Now is the best time to test drive a 1991 Audi 100 with substantial factory-to-dealer incentives on select models or lease options like the Audi 3-year test drive. You'll find exceptional values. And whether you buy or lease, Audi pays for all scheduled maintenance for 3 years or 50,000 miles. So visit your Audi dealer now and take advantage of these special offerings. The Audi 100. One more way Audi lets you take control.
There's one itch that gives a man fits. The executive.
Big client dinner. Now this.
The weekend jock.
Shooting free throws. Who needs this?
It's an irritating itch sensation aggravated by chafing and sweating. Sounds like jock itch, but it's different.
I hate it.
Gold Bond medicated powder gives relief that's worth its weight in gold. Gold Bond works 3 ways. Cools the itch, helps protect against chafing, absorbs excess moisture.
Gold Bond works.
Gold Bond medicated powder cools the itch that gives a man fits. Use as directed.
Do you know there are only 44 sounds in the English language? 44. And when you learn these 44 sounds called phonics, you can read and spell almost everything. That's why Hooked on Phonics is so successful. We've set these 44 sounds to music, making learning to read simple and fun. So get hooked on phonics and take the mystery out of learning to read. Call 1-800-ABCDEFG.
Your pets go many places during the course of a day, and you can't always protect them when they go into flea and tick-infested areas. We can. Used as directed, Heart's Blockade for dogs and cats repels and kills fleas and ticks, including ticks that carry Lyme disease. By creating an invisible barrier, Heart's Blockade prevents these pests from living on your pet. Helping to improve your pet's quality of life is your responsibility. Helping you do that is Heart's.
Atlanta's best worst weather reports, plus the official 3-day weather forecast, right here on News Radio 640 WGST.
One of the greatest callers of all time just checked in. I don't know where he's been. You all might know him by several different names, but as a talk show connoisseur, as a talk how you like expert, I recognize this next caller as one of the greatest callers of all times. And I don't always agree with what he says, but I guarantee you he provides a whole lot of information. So without further ado, I'd like to take this opportunity to reintroduce to the Talk How You Like Underground Posse one of the greatest callers of talk radio of all time. All time. Ladies and gentlemen, Hannibal, you're on the Underground Talk How You Like Posse.
Ralph, you're on a roll tonight.
Hannibal, good to hear from you, my muck-raking friend.
I tried last night to get in, but the lines were too busy to tell you of my most prized material possession, Cordell Hull's memoirs, with its challenged documentation of our sordid diplomatic history all the way from Panama to the slickest act of political genocide in the history of man. This conspiracy of the United States and the Zionist Jews in Palestine from 1917 to this very minute. Now, not to mention our sordid, dogmatic provocation of the Japanese to cross the line in the sand at Pearl Harbor. They said it was sneak, but we didn't know that they left the Philippines open. We didn't know where they were going to hit. We knew they were going to hit, but we didn't know the exact date or...
So it wasn't a sneak attack. We knew they were going to hit.
Yeah, we knew they were going to hit November the 25th.
What do you think about Fidel down there in Cuba?
Have I ever given you the whole package on who blinked at the Cuban Missile Crisis?
No, who blinked at the Cuban Missile Crisis? I remember those...
The story was that Khrushchev told the Kennedy boys that he'd move his missiles off of Cuba if we'd move ours out of Turkey.
Turkey, right. I remember that.
Robert Kennedy, whose mama always told him that discretion was the better part of valor, says, Jack, says, let's tell the warmongering rednecks that our missiles in Turkey are obsolete anyway. Let's take his offer up. And that solved it right there. They moved theirs. I think we moved ours first.
Yeah, right. You know, I remember when I was in Catholic school once upon a time, all the nuns gathered everybody out of the classroom, and we went into the church at the very hour that big Russian boat was going to be stopped down there in Cuba. And sure enough, it turned around. But that was one chapter. That was, I guess, the United States' only success against Fidel, the fact that he did not get nuclear weapons down there. But do you think he's got nuclear weapons now?
It could very well be. A lot of, Israel's had nuclear weapons for 20 years. They were going to use them in 67. And we stripped our reserves to get them. Even our reserves were training with their own automobiles for tanks and wooden sticks for guns to send Diane and them arms there to keep them from using nuclear weapons then. They've had nuclear power for 30 years. I don't know why we don't make them give them our secrets so our plants don't blow up. Ralph, you want the package, just give me the word.
Cordell Hull, the memoirs of Cordell Hull, and you got to send it in a plain brown wrapper because we got some show-enough spies down here that will abduct that package.
I can hand them, why don't I just put it, mark it photographs.
There you go, mark it photographs. And if any of my...
Scratch the surface in Israel.
Well, I need all the information I can get, my man, because all these folks shooting at me, I got to have some ammunition too, Hannibal.
Now, let's have some more of these programs like we're having last night and tonight.
All right, let's keep it.
A lot of them.
Let's keep it going. Appreciate your call, Hannibal. Jaques in Stone Mountain. It's so good to see you yesterday. Well, that wasn't yesterday. That was Sunday.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was eating today. I keep going back to that same restaurant where I was eating, and somebody called up and commented on my show Friday. They said that the first caller that you had Friday imitating the preacher was the best caller. You were great, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
And it was a pleasure meeting you and your lovely wife or girlfriend.
That's wife.
Yes, your wife. All right. Yeah, it was my pleasure.
Yeah. Check this out, man. I'm digging, what we're talking about Castro. I'm with you 100% on that. But as I look through my local jet this week, I see the story of Emmett Till.
Gruesome picture, isn't it?
Oh, man.
You know, now that picture that you see of Emmett Till after he had half of his head blown off, that was reconstructed by the mortician because when they found his body, he was almost unrecognizable.
Man.
And that's just evidence, and that's brutal evidence, factual, clear evidence right here in our lifetime of the kinds of treatment that we receive from the good old folks, the good old boys right here in America, and then they got the nerve to call up and talk about a Castro. You won't see those kinds of pictures coming out of Cuba.
No, you won't. And Ralph, the thing about it is, those crackers got off the hook, man.
Oh, yeah, they got off the hook. They got to have a jury of their peers, man. And
in the courtroom, they was drinking Coca-Colas and drinking beer and laughing, man.
Yeah, they got off the hook, homeboy. They're going to always get off the hook. This is their land. They took it.
What happened to them after that, man? Like, where are they now? Where are their ancestors? What's going on with those people, man?
Well, you would like to think two things. One, you would like to think that their conscience got to them and they committed suicide, but we know they don't have a conscience. And the other thing that you would like to think is that we as men, I'm talking to the African Americans out here, we as men would have the guts enough to do as Simon Wiesenthal does with his people. Are you familiar with Simon Wiesenthal and the Jews and how they hunt down and track down and try these Nazis, these killers from the Holocaust?
Hey, man, I'd be glad to get a couple of the Posse members together and find these jokers.
They found that sucker Beckwith, Byron Della Beckwith. He's about half dead, and he's postponing and getting stays and things, trying to die out of court before he goes to jail and dies. But he's the sucker that killed Medgar Evers. I say that if we were men, we would organize semi-posse comatose, not like the real posse comatose, but we'd have some kind of posse where we would actually go around tapping some of these suckers on their shoulder, say, excuse me, sir, but can I have your attention, please?
You ready? I'm ready with you.
All right, I'm down for my crown. Appreciate your call, my brother. Hey, we're going to take a break, but before I take a break, please let me talk to Gordon. Gordon in Marietta. You're on the Talk How You Like Underground Posse.
Yeah, hi, Ralph. How you doing?
Hey, Gordon, thanks for calling.
Well, I enjoy your show thoroughly, and I've tried to call you several times, finally got through. I'm concerned that when the Braves move to WGST, that you're not going to be on. What's the story on that?
Well, speaking from a management perspective, I cannot say. I can say that I am wanted here, and they have told me in no uncertain terms that I am definitely wanted, and they will find a way to use my talents here at News Radio 640 WGST. I must say this, Gordon, to you and the posse, that I am loyal to this station. This station gave me an opportunity to break into the broadcast world and make a name for myself, and I have not been pandering my wares or shopping myself around town. I am content here. I'm happy here. And whatever they feel, fit is fit for me in the posse, I'll take it. We'll just have to surmise that particular situation when it arises. But suffice it to say, my friend, I'm going to be here.
Well, that's good. I tell you, I think they ought to put you in the drive time because, last week you had the imitations of people called in to do various impersonations.
Yeah.
Well, I want to do an impersonation of Brian Wilson saying something intelligent.
All right. Go ahead. Let's go!
The old Harry Reasoner.
The old Harry Reasoner. The old okey doke. I like it, Gordon. Dick in Dunwoody. Can we say that name on the radio? Dick. We can say Dick. Dick in Dunwoody, you'll be next, followed by Al in Lakewood, 233 WGST. Wonder whatever happened to old Bobby Kennedy.
Shorty has just sent me a message that we've been here too long already. So, my thanks to all of you, and now it's on to Chicago, and let's win there.
Senator Kennedy has been shot. Is that possible? Oh, my God. Senator Kennedy has been shot. Rafer Johnson has a hold of a man who apparently has fired the shot. Get the gun. Get the gun. Get the gun. Stay away from the gun. His hand is frozen. Take a hold of his thumb and break it if you have to. Get his thumb. All right. That's it, Rafer. Get it. Get the gun, Rafer. Hold him. Hold him. We don't want another Oswald.
Dick in Dunwoody. Dick, you're on the Underground Talk. How you like, Posse?
Hey, Ralph, how you doing this evening?
You got to change your name. I don't think we can use your name. That's one of the 7 dirty words.
1957?
57.
All right, and I was at the ticker tape parade in New York City when Castro was given a hero's welcome. Had good rapport, good relationships with Cuba.
Met with Malcolm X. He and Malcolm X talked together up at the Teresa Hotel up in Harlem.
Exactly. And we had open, good relationships with Russia and China. And then Kennedy took over. And then when Kennedy took over, the Cold War started. Castro came to the United States asking for aid. Kennedy's administration said no. He went to Russia to get aid, and that's where it all started.
All right, now, since that's very good history that you just gave us. Very good, and I won't disagree with one thing that you said. I just want to add something, if I may, Dick. Lyndon Baines Johnson, who was John Kennedy's vice president, through a deal made with the Democratic Party. Lyndon Baines Johnson wielded all kind of power in the Senate. You know, he was a big-time powerful senator from Texas. At that time, when John Kennedy was elected president in 1959, 60, 61, I don't know, 1960, emerging nations all over the country were throwing off the yoke of colonialism. Not only Cuba, but nations in Africa. And what happened? The British, the French, the Italians, the Germans, the Spanish people found that their interests were at stake, and they were not in the clear to run down the field with the football, so to speak, in terms of suppressing these emerging nations. And the ball was thrown to John Kennedy. John Kennedy was one of the shrewdest backfield runners in the history of politics. You're absolutely correct. He did try to execute Castro through the Bay of Pigs invasion. He did try to do some slipping and sliding with the organized crime, because his daddy was a big-time bootlegger, Joseph Kennedy.
Dating and seeing a mafioso's girlfriend.
Right.
President.
All that's documented. All that's well known. So, and even later on, you had the big fight between Jimmy Hoffa and Bobby Kennedy. So it's all well documented, and we agree. But the bottom line is, what we wanted to do with Cuba is not what the people of Cuba wanted through Castro, and that's the bottom line.
But you put it in proper perspective, though, because don't forget, in the beginning of the program, you blamed the Republican presidents.
Well, I blame the United States.
Did not blame the two chief Democratic presidents, Kennedy and...
Yeah, I specifically left them out because I felt that intelligent folks like yourself weren't listening, but I was wrong.
You don't have intelligent folks.
Dick, but you're correct, and I was I will admit that I was wrong in not including Kennedy, but I also cited at the beginning of the program the serious, pitiful condition that the Cubans were in at the hands of these former presidents. All right?
I agree. There was a lot of prostitution. There was drugs.
Big time dope. Big time.
Gambling and so forth.
Oh, everything. Money laundering.
Yeah, I know.
B.B. Rebozo, Nixon's buddy, B.B. Rebozo had headquarters down there in Castro.
But remember now, again, going back to this thing, who really controlled Cuba?
The United States, once upon a time.
No. What group of people controlled Cuba?
The communists?
No, the organized crime.
At one time, yeah.
Yep.
Before Castro came in.
And that's probably, this whole thing of Kennedy and organized crime in Cuba is a big circle.
I agree with you.
And I don't think we'll ever find the truth in it.
Hey, I don't either. Hey, appreciate your call. Al, you got to hold on. Bill in College Park, you got to hold on. Lee in Snellville, you got to hold on. Your voice must be heard on the Talk How You Like Underground Posse. It's something in the air tonight. Something. I don't know what it is. Hold on now. Just hold the phone. Just hold the phone. Hold on. I'll be back.
And I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh, Lord. Can you feel it?
233 WGST. Hold on. Just hold on.
First for news, and first on your AM dial. For the news you want when you need it every hour of every day. Trust News Radio 640 WGST, Atlanta's most dependable news, traffic, and weather station.
Good evening. It's cloudy and 74 degrees. I'm Gene Michaels, News Radio 640 WGST. Tomorrow, it'll be partly to mostly cloudy, a chance of showers in the high and the low 80s. Atlanta's official 3-day weather forecast is coming up. Here's what's happening now at 9 o'clock. The fate of Western hostages in Lebanon seems to hinge on what happens first with Arab and Israeli detainees and missing. Muslim groups want Arab captives in Israel and Western countries freed, and Israel wants information about Israelis captured and missing. ABC's Jerry King in Damascus tells us what he has learned about the missing and captured Israelis that Israel wants back.
Hezbollah, the Shiite fundamentalist group, says it has 2 of the 7 missing Israelis, that both are alive, and that the Palestine Liberation Organization, despite its denials, holds a 3rd. The other 4, it says, are dead. The Democratic Front for the Liberation of Palestine says it has the body of one of them, and Israel has known that for 6 years. In a statement issued in Damascus, the group says that's how long it's been trying to negotiate an exchange with Israel through the Red Cross. The statement insists the group will not make the dead Israeli part of any overall hostage deal.
ABC's Jerry King. Officials are looking to into 18 deaths at 2 hospitals in Georgia and Alabama where the same nurse worked in intensive care. Maria Boynton has more on that story from the state desk.
The link is a nurse who worked at least 2 hospitals in the Atlanta area before moving to Birmingham earlier this year. Authorities in Birmingham say the death of a patient at Cooper Green Hospital there in March could be connected to the suspicious deaths of 17 patients at North Fulton Regional in suburban Atlanta. North Fulton's administrator says the nurse was fired in December, adding the dismissal was unrelated to the investigation. That same nurse is said to have worked with intensive care patients at both hospitals. Maria Boynton, News Radio 640 WGST.
Atlanta police say 24-year-old Paul Matthews will be charged with aggravated assault in the attempted attack on a young woman outside of her Buckhead home. The suspect was critically wounded when the woman stabbed him in the neck. Homicide Captain Calvin Wardlaw says doctors are not sure when police will be able to talk to the suspect.
They indicated that he might possibly be able to be interviewed or, in fact, transferred sometime late tonight or tomorrow. So we'll have to wait and see.
Police are looking at Matthews as a possible suspect in the Buckhead rapes in recent months. Matthews is on parole for car theft in Coweta County and has 3 previous theft by receiving convictions. Clark Clifford says the interest of First American customers is a priority for him. Clifford has resigned as chairman of First American Bank Shares, a holding company the federal government says was illegally acquired by the Bank of Credit and Commerce International. Clifford is being investigated in the worldwide scandal involving BCCI. BCCI has been accused by the government of being linked to terrorists and drug traffickers. The financially troubled Oakland Tribune will live 24 more hours. The paper's publisher had threatened to close the paper tomorrow. That deadline has been extended while efforts to rescue the paper continue. The 117-year-old Tribune is the only major daily newspaper run by a black family. Italy's president went to Albania today in an effort to stop the mass exodus of Albanians across the Adriatic Sea. 18,000 sailed to Italy last week looking for jobs and escaping their country's crushing poverty. Today marked the 30th anniversary of the Berlin Wall, the barrier between East and West that finally came down in 1989. Ceremonies were held to remember all those who died while attempting to break through the barrier to the West. News Radio 640 WGST time, 4 minutes past 9 o'clock. Atlanta's official 3-day weather forecast is coming up.
The first annual William Bill Lucas Memorial Day Classic is coming. Doubleheader football action Saturday, August 31st, beginning at 2:30 p.m. At 2:30, Clark Atlantic University takes on Morris Brown College. The winner could be the SIAC champion. Then at 6:30 p.m., Alabama State University goes head-to-head with Jackson State University. This is hard-hitting college football non-stop. The first annual William Bill Lucas Memorial Day Classic, Saturday, August 31st in the Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Brought to you by Coors Light, Luster Silk, and Right Guard. 2 games, 1 ticket. Buy 1 ticket, see both games. Tickets available now at all Ticketmaster locations.
Including Turtle, Sound Warehouse, Tower Records, and Select Decker Drugs.
To charge by phone, call 249-6400. The first annual William Bill Lucas Memorial Day Classic, Saturday, August 31st in the Atlanta Fulton County Stadium.
The official 3-day Weather Channel forecast from News Radio 640 WGST. A few spotty showers this evening. Otherwise, tonight it's just going to be mostly cloudy with fog redeveloping. We'll have a low near 68 degrees. For Wednesday, some afternoon and evening thunder showers developing, but a lot of clouds and a little bit of sunshine otherwise throughout the day with a high of 82. After those evening thunder showers die out, mostly cloudy, fog again Wednesday night, a low of 67. Now, we'll have partially clearing skies and just a slight chance of a thunder shower on Thursday with a high of 85. And Friday, a nice day, partly cloudy and 88. With 24-hour-a-day coverage at the Weather Channel Cable Network, I'm Brent Bass for 640 WGST.
We have cloudy skies and 74 degrees at Atlanta's official weather station, News Radio 640 WGST.
Did you know that every day in this country a car is stolen every 20 seconds? That's why our police need your help. Because car theft is a major problem, the 220,000 members of the National Fraternal Order of Police have initiated Operation Lockup and recommend using the Club, the anti-theft device that is highly visible and renders your car undrivable. It's the only vehicle anti-theft device recommended by these police. The time-tested Club is tough to defeat. It's made of tempered steel, yet easy for anyone to use. Simply lock it across your steering wheel and it makes your car impossible to steer. Once in place, the bright red Club is so visible that would-be thieves move on to easier targets. Remember, too, that compared to expensive electronic devices that tend to give off false alarms, the Club, priced at under $60, is affordable, and it's guaranteed. But don't be fooled by imitators. The one police recommend has the name The Club on the handle.
Ralph, can I have your autograph?
News as it happens, 24 hours a day. First, on Atlanta's most dependable news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 640, WGST.
I was born and raised down in Alabama on a farm way back up in the woods. I was so ragged that folks used to call me Patches. Papa used to tease me about it, 'cause deep down inside he was hurt 'cause he'd done all he could. My papa was a great old man. I can see him with a shovel in his hand. See, education he never had. He did wonders when the times got bad. The little money from the crops he raised barely pays the bills we made. That kicked him down to the ground. When he tried to get up, life would kick him back down. One day, Papa called me to his dying bed, put his hands on my shoulders, and in tears he said, Patches, I'm depending on your son to pull the family through. My son is all left up to you.
233 WGST. This is the Ralph from Ben Hill Talk How You Like Underground Posse.
I became a man that day. So I told Mama I was going to quit school, but...
Don't do that. No, that's Papa's strictest rule. Hey, let's go to Lee in Snellville. Lee, you're on the Talk How You Like Underground Posse.
Hello, Ralph.
Hey.
Ralph, most of the time I enjoy listening to your show, and I find most of the things you say mildly entertaining and only somewhat personally abusive. Although every time I've ever called into you, I get one of those whippersnapper goodbyes or your other method of devices for quick disconnection. Tonight, I'd like for you to give me a little bit of time to talk to you.
Sure.
The man that you are having a moderate love affair with tonight executed my father in 1962.
Ku Klux Klan killed my granddaddy in 1950, so we even.
No, we're not even. We're not even.
We both lost a loved one at the hand of an oppressor.
If we could find the man in the Ku Klux Klan who killed your granddaddy, I'd help you string him up.
All right.
Okay, now let me tell you a little.
He's down in the governor's... No, he's not in the governor's mansion. He's probably in the State House. He's probably a senator from Bremen or somewhere.
Let me tell you a little bit about the man that you're enjoying talking about so much tonight.
All right.
Just like when you... And I'm not saying you're like him because I don't think you are. I wouldn't be talking to you. But just like when you don't like something somebody says, you cut him off.
No.
He does it too.
No, I let people talk now. I let people talk.
Okay, I understand. But when he does it, he kills them. He puts him up against the wall and he shoots him. And you see, that's the one big thing. You know, you can respect a man for standing up to the United States, no doubt. We've many times in this century demonstrated a perchance for imperialism. And Cuba, along with the Philippines at the same time, historically, was one of our escapades in imperialism. But we long ago, long before Castro came to power, gave up the reins of imperial power in Cuba. The mess that Cuba got themselves into was the result of the Cubans themselves. They know this. The people, the cream of the Cuban culture is in Miami. And as much as I can't stand some of those people, I grew up with them. And some of them are my relatives. As much as I can't stand them, I still realize that they know they made some mistakes. And the result of that is they lost control of their country to a man who was